Hello, everybody. What's happening? Good to see you all here. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in. It has been a while, and I'm glad to be back in front of all of you guys. Um, there's a lot of questions here that I got across Telegram and Twitter. I guess while we kind of wait for some other people to kind of come in, and I can give you some updates. So, we have been working our butt off to kind of get things back to normal, post attack, and just some insight on that as well. Like, just to kind of reinstill any confidence that people might have or want to have. We have been working with a lot of amazing people. I want to give some special shout outs and thank you to some companies and projects like Parsec, Immunify, Cypherblade, Certec, things like that. People who've been helping us with everything. We've learned a lot and implemented a lot of best practices. Since then, happy to report that our smart contract is in a very secure Gnosis multi-sig. So we have quite a lot of confidence that what happened won't happen again. So anyway, moving forward, we have been really working hard, to make sure that paid didn't have too much downtime, and just to kind of fill you guys in, like we have looking at our whiteboards up here, we have like over 20 projects lined up to do IDOs over the next all the way through like early May. So it's a lot. Our pipeline is completely stacked, and we're really excited. We've had a tremendous amount of support from projects launching with us, including the ones coming up like Split and Deeper. Also, for those of you who come in here, I like to kind of leak to you guys some of the news before it comes out. It's always the benefit of coming in here and getting some of the getting to chat with me before we make all our like official announcements. So another project that we're going to do on Ignition here in partnership with BSC Pad is Blind Boxes. Awesome NFT project. You guys should all be really excited about it. You can see my most recent tweet that kind of covers it. So make sure you guys all go follow Blind Boxes. It's going to be a big one. There's a lot of people backing it. It has been pretty much in stealth mode up until a couple days ago. And you can expect to see a lot of people talking about it, up until the IDO, and a lot of the same KOLs and influencers that have backed paid are also behind Blind Boxes as well. So yeah, so in the next, by the end of March, basically, which is just 2 weeks away, we've got at least 3 big IDOs lined up, Split, Deeper, and Blind Boxes. And that's I think that's going to bring a lot of positive attention our way, and we're really excited about that. Okay, so I will, and that's there's some other ones as well. So some of the questions here, like, okay, so the second airdrop this gets a little bit complicated, and this should kind of answer a lot of the all-encompassing questions about this period of time that happened between the attack and the 4-hour period, which we're compensating people for. It's not as easy as it was just as taking the snapshot and airdropping for people, up to the point of the attack, because we're dealing with centralized entities. And so, one of the biggest questions is what happened to the questions on Gate. And and it's really difficult, right? Because we don't have chain data to be able to account for this and have transparency like everything else. So right now we're working with Gate on a daily basis, trying to get numbers from them that sync up to what we expect or what our numbers produce. So we've gotten data from them. It didn't validate with what our data had, and so right now it's really a process of making sure that we can validate the information we get from them. So please bear with us a bit longer. Hopefully we're trying to get this sorted out by tomorrow and get the airdrop tomorrow. We were close to being able to do it today. However, we just need 12, 16 more hours or so just to kind of make sure that everything is done properly. So that should answer a lot of the questions. That covers things like, for everyone who's trading, buying and selling for that 4-hour period, and plus the Gate situation. Tatan, thanks for asking this question about other things other than Ignition. So we were supposed to have the iOS and Android apps for paid smart agreements. Basically, what our core functions is, our core products are. But we had a bit of a setback with the attack last week. So by next week, we're expecting to have the iOS and Android apps, which should be amazing because in crypto, which is the lowest hanging fruit for paid, and just for a lot of you guys watching and joining, remember, like, we are much more than a launchpad. I mean, our core product, for those of you who might not know, who might just think of us as a launchpad, like, that is a fraction of what we're actually doing, right? So we're actually aiming to disrupt the way that people do business with each other, and to be able to have two parties anywhere in the world conduct business with each other through a massively simplified agreement process, that basically removes complicated, expensive, lengthy things like attorneys and courtrooms, right? So in a lot of countries, I mean, just in America, for example, I've been in a court case for 5 years, very, very inefficient way to resolve a dispute between two parties. But other countries, I know, like India, for example, the court system's backed up 1,000 years. So if you have a dispute with somebody, you're completely out of luck. And we're paid network. That is, the core issue we're trying to solve. So our MVP that will be used, already confirmed by a lot of our partners to be using our MVP, should be very, very simple to use. And we're aiming to have, like I said, our apps on iOS and Android by next week. And another thing that we were trying to accomplish, which we have now, is the migration to Binance Smart Chain, in order to make doing these agreements very, very cheap. It doesn't make sense to use our product on Ethereum right now because you can't convince someone to sign a partnership agreement that's going to cost them $30 in Ethereum fees. It doesn't make any sense. So our migration to Binance Smart Chain has already been completed. The last little bit of that puzzle is to complete the bridge for paid tokens from ERC20 to BEP20. And we're working on that as well. So that's some updates on the paid smart agreements side of paid network. Thanks for asking that question. Hey, greetings to everyone in Bulgaria. I've got a lot of good friends over there. Say hi to the Aveto team and things like that. And the paid we will buy now from Uni will be considered V2 or V1. So this is a good question. So make sure when you're buying paid right now that you're buying the V2 token. All of the data should be correct on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, our websites, Etherscan. Just make sure that when the best way, and I could just kind of show you real quick here too. Let's see, let's share screen. So just so you know, like the best way to make sure that you're buying the right one is to just go to something like CoinGecko. Maybe I'm not going to use CoinGecko because my portfolio is there. But if you go to like CoinMarketCap and you just search for paid, and then you just go, to markets here, and you can see, and you just want to make sure that so the best way to do it is just to do it on Uniswap, and you just click this link here. And then you have, you're making, you know that you're actually on the right contract, right? And you have, again, just to validate or make sure, you always come up here and you look at the contract on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and make sure our current one ends in D787, right? So I would just, if I want to buy it on Uniswap, I just come here, click this one, and it opens the Uniswap, and I can, buy paid with ETH. So that's how you make sure that you're doing the right one. All right. Let's see. Okay, so for Cosmos tier holders, how many of them will for private sale? So on the private sale, so this is for the projects that we incubate. And again, happy to give you guys watching this some inside scoop. So so some of the projects that we're incubating here coming up that we're really, really excited about, two of them. One is Shield Finance, and the other one is Vega Swap. And so, that's one of our promises to our Cosmos tiers holder is some access to, to these private sales. And yeah, and there's more coming up right now. I just cannot announce them. But those two are coming up quite quickly. So in the 4-hour time frame, it's basically from the time of the dump to 4 hours after that. Pretty straightforward. This one we cannot talk about future exchange listings that are not finalized yet. Will there be a multiplier for those who didn't get into pre-sale? I imagine that you mean IDO, the public sale before. Yeah, so we're still working on this multiplier, but we do want to make it to those of you who weren't able to get into the sales before, increase your chances. We want to make this as fair as possible for everybody. And we don't want those of you who aren't getting access to these IDOs to to be discouraged. And so just hang in there with us. We are developing these mechanisms to really think about the most fair way to do these IDOs. Everybody's doing their own kind of method. We're always constantly taking feedback in from the community, from our ambassadors, things like that, and kind of applying these changes as we go. When will we know who got guaranteed allocation for Deeper Network? Yeah, so all of you who were in this this Diamond Hands promotion that we ran, and followed our instructions on not to trade after the attack. Yep, you guys are getting, so you already know if that's you, you're getting guaranteed allocation to Deeper Network. Yeah, and then of course our Galaxy tier holders as well. And yeah, that should be a good one. What is hashtag BLES? That's blind boxes. Go check it out. Go follow them on Twitter. Join their Telegram, and we will be launching them on Ignition on the 26th. Star Atlas, not confirmed yet for Ignition. I am working with the team closely. I love them. They're amazing. I love the idea. I'm super excited about it. We're going to do a House of DAO world. So for those of you who don't know, Star Atlas is like a metaverse project. But there's some of these projects that are metaverse projects like Ethverse or like what is the Decentraland. And they're fun and all, but what I like about Star Atlas is they're using Unreal Engine. And any of you don't know what an Unreal Engine is, it's basically what they create most of the most advanced and modern video games on. So when you see these video games that are created that look ultra realistic and lifelike, that's Unreal Engine. So I think Star Atlas is gonna absolutely blow people's minds. I've been seeing a lot of the artwork that they're doing. You know, we invested into it a while ago. You know, I got a lot of my network into it as well, and really, really excited. And I do believe that we are going to do it on Ignition. It's still, it's still many months away. So they're going to do an NFT sale, which is going to be epic. In I forget when, maybe in like a month and a half or something, and then the idea we would do it about, I think, 7 or 13 weeks after that. Sorry, it's been a while since I talked to them, but yeah. Anyway, Starless is gonna be fun. Yep, I know. Uniswap is expensive. I feel ya. Yep. So we are right now. We are talking to the Pancake Swap team. So we want to get on there, and then you know, there's not a lot of incentive for us to list on tier 2 exchanges. In my opinion, they're very expensive. And you know, without saying too much, I have confidence of Paid being listed on a tier 1 exchange in the not too distant future. So I can't say who it is or that it's 100% confirmed yet, but all signs are pointing to a yes. And so that's kind of our plans right now. You know, Paid has been trending on Dex tools, like, I don't think today, but like almost every single day since we've launched. And you know, that's a good sign for most exchanges that, you know, if they list us, they're going to be getting a lot of money from trading fees. And so I'm quite confident that that it won't be too long before you guys are able to trade on a really high quality centralized exchange. About the Lucky 7 bonus, is it 10% of the token value in dollars? No, so it's 10% of your total paid tokens. So if you're holding 1,000 paid tokens and you don't sell them for 7 weeks after the airdrop, you're going to get an extra 100 paid tokens. So it's 10% of whatever you were airdropped, meaning that if you had 1,000 tokens at the hack, you got airdropped 1,000 of the paid V2 tokens. Your balance just cannot drop below 1,000 to qualify, which means that you can buy more paid tokens and sell more paid tokens on that same wallet. You just cannot drop your balance below 1,000, below the amount that you're airdropped. But that's a pretty good bonus, huh? I think so. Let's see. And thank you to everyone shouting out. Like, it's really good to be here for the supportive community. And guys, for hey Kyle, can you tell us how you would calculate the airdrop for people who bought after the hack and sold with loss, seeing the price go down further, all done within 4 hours before your announcement? Yep. Okay. So to be honest, I am not the one doing this. Some people on my team are doing this. I just know that we are doing it in a way where you're not going to lose on your investment. Like, the whole goal, just so everybody knows, of everything that we're doing right now, is to make sure that at the end of the day, nobody sustains any losses. You know, that there was no financial harm that was caused by the hack that happened. You know, we are taking everything out of our pockets and treasury in order to make sure everyone's reimbursed. You know, we just don't want this burden to fall on anyone else besides ourselves. So I don't know the exact answer for you, but I know that we are making sure that that those who you know, traded after within that 4-hour window are taken care of. Hey, Vijesh, what's happening, man? Good to see you in here. Vijesh is amazing, guys. Like, we see all of our memes and GIFs and sticker packs. Like, Vijesh is the man creating all these. Always manages to keep a smile on our face, even through the good and bad times. Greatly appreciated member of the paid community. Thank you, Vijesh, for your support. Really awesome. Guys, can you please just try to ask a question one time, not 15 times? That'd be great. Okay, this is a good question. How will the YOP Launchpad gain allocation from paid ignition? I don't know, actually. I was trying to figure that out myself. I am an investor in YOP, and I am good friends with Atif. I just haven't had an opportunity to chat with him to understand how they're going to facilitate that. I think he said it was some integration with just kind of like into our platform. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Actually, it's not something that we spoke about from a process perspective. So if he can make it work, amazing. I just know that in order for it to work, people using the YOP aggregator would still need to hold pay tokens to qualify. So there's no way around that around our requirements, for entering our IDOs. Hey Kyle, what do we do with the pay token that is locked on the exchange? I can't trade it or withdraw it. Yeah, please just, I spoke about this earlier, just bear with us. It's really just us trying to work out things with Gate to figure out how we're going to handle this. Again, it's just a bit difficult dealing with centralized entities. There's no transparency when it comes down to wallet addresses like there is on a blockchain. Yeah, this is a great question. Amit, so one of the cool things I like about Ignition, first of all, the question is, the guaranteed allocation means we don't have gas wars things. How will it be during the IDO? So, I personally think that the way that we are conducting IDOs is quite unique. A lot of other projects like to brag about the fact that they sold out in like 3 seconds or whatever. Great. It's obvious. Like, it's not, in my opinion, that's nothing to brag about. Like, every single IDO is going to sell out in this market. We're in a bull run, like, if it doesn't, you have a serious problem. But in my opinion, people shouldn't be bragging about how quickly an IDO sold out, because it's obvious that you're going to sell out. But if it sold out in 3 seconds or 5 seconds, you know what that means? That means that people had to pay a ton of money for gas. And I don't think that's right, So like the way that we conducted shadows, for example, we didn't sell out in 3 seconds like the other IDO platform that was doing, but that was never our intention, right? Guess what? People who bought on paid Ignition ended up spending something like 5 times, 6 times less in gas fees than on the other platform. So we try to do everything in a way that doesn't require you to sit there by your computer and try to erase bots, for example, to get an allocation. We make sure that every single person that whitelists with us has the amount of paid required, goes through the KYC process to make sure that you're legit, not a bot. And we try to basically allocate only what's available and a little bit of cushion on top, just in case some of the people don't pass KYC or don't show up, whatever. But at the end of the day, for shadows, it took us like 15 minutes to sell out, right? Not because the demand wasn't there. Trust me, tons of demand. It's because we wanted to create an environment that was comfortable for people to participate. And they only had to pay, on average, like $12 in gas versus, $400 or $500 I've seen on other platforms. So, and for the guaranteed allocations, we will have a separate pool, just the same way we do for Galaxy tier holders, where there will only be, there will be exactly enough allocation in that pool, exactly for the guaranteed holders. And the way that works is that we will run this pool before the other pool, and there will be only enough allocation in there for exactly how many guaranteed allocations are available. If for whatever reason, some of those people don't show up, then we just take whatever's left and then we pop it in the other pool, and that makes more for everybody else. So yes, if you have guaranteed allocation, you don't have to worry. There's no gas wars. You take your time. You just do your thing. So about launch pool, this is a good question. When can we resume staking on launch pool, and will we still do the 10% after 7 weeks that we do? This I don't have an answer to for you right now. Those of you who know us, Master Ventures, we're one of the founding funds of Launchpool, and so we're closely working with Rich and the team over at Launchpool. Right now, there's not an easy way for us to track the wallet addresses that are staking in Launchpool, but we're trying to find a way around that as soon as possible so we can open up another pool for V2 token holders that would allow them to participate in the 10% bonus as well as qualify for the IDOs on Ignition. At the moment, there's no way to do that, but we are actively working on that right now. Am I still bullish on Hathor? I am still bullish on Hathor. Like any other layer one protocols, I think it's important to build a bridge to Ethereum. If you're going to build a layer one and expect people to build applications or dApps on top of it, you need that full-fledged ecosystem that Ethereum has built. You need MetaMask, and you need DeFi apps, and you need aggregators, and you need these kinds of things. As somebody myself who builds projects, it's kind of like, I use this analogy a lot, right? So we're on YouTube right now. YouTube bans and censors a lot of content. Same thing with Twitter, right? We saw Twitter right now just ban a bunch of people's crypto accounts, and that pisses us off, right? And we're like, wow, we should really be using like a decentralized, better platform. However, it's difficult to do that because if you're a content creator or you're a dApp creator, you need to go where the audience is. And right now, and for content creating, that's YouTube and Twitter. So it makes it really difficult for another project to kind of, build up that network effect. It's the same thing in crypto. This is why I'm so bullish on Polkadot, because they already have that network effect. And it's very, very clear to me that that will be a layer 0 protocol, a base layer protocol that is successful because it's already demonstrated they're building these bridges. You have projects like Plasm and Moonbeam and Parastate who are allowing backward compatibility from Ethereum into that network, and that's absolutely critical. Another project that I'm really, really bullish on, that I just started working with, is Argo, and Argo is kind of like Plasm or Moonbeam, but for the Arweave protocol, right? So Arweave is another great, really, really advanced layer 0 or base layer protocol. However, it's very, very technically difficult to build dApps on top of. So the team over at Argo has been building this basically middleware solution that will make it very, very easy for anyone who wants to build a dApp to build it on top of Argo. And they're building the compatibility for Ethereum apps as well to easily port into Arweave environment via Argo. So back to the question, am I still bullish on Hathor? Yes, but in the immediate term, they need to sort out this compatibility issue, and I know that they're working on it. You know, I still have a very, very large bag of Hathor, and I'm not selling any of it. So excited for your big plans like House of DAO with autonomous country. Yep, me too. we, it's probably one of the things I'm the most excited about. You know, and what's really cool about, you know, House of DAO is how it's going to benefit the paid community tremendously, right? So what we're working on right now is building this huge blockchain and crypto village, you know, here in Thailand, where you don't have to pay to stay there. You don't have to pay to co-work there or live there. You just have to stake your paid. Kind of like almost like a timeshare membership where you're just, so you actually don't have to to pay anything. You know, we're trying to build it all into the paid token economy. And the same thing goes for, you know, the benefits of everything happening at House of DAO, like incubating some of the best projects in the world, doing hackathons, doing conferences. All of this will benefit, you know, the paid ecosystem. And that's just, you know, there's so much that we're doing for paid, you know, from the smart agreements and the legal business side of things, incubation, House of DAO, ignition. And that's what I think makes us very unique compared to a lot of the other projects that are either, you know, this D-Law sector that we are in or launch pads. You know, we have a huge ecosystem we're building, and there's so many different ways that the paid holders will benefit from being part of our ecosystem and our community. Would we be would considered working with collaborating with Unilayer, Layer? Yeah, I mean, of course. You know, we're extremely collaborative. I actually hold a bag of Layer, and I hope they do really well. If you guys want to make an introduction or something, happy to chat with them. Yeah, why not? Any reason why Deeper Network is not listed on Ignition website? It should be by, I think, tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, it just we took it during the attack. We took down the Ignition website and have been making some edits on it. It should be back up in a day or tonight or something. I think the way you did your first idea was amazing. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I like, again, I just watch, you know, I'm very, very involved in the communities, right? And I pay attention to what you guys say a lot. And I pay attention to what people complain about, not just like in paid, but also with other projects, you know, and I know that it's really not fun to have to pay a ton of money in gas to participate. You know, some people are getting allocations and IDOs for $100 and they're paying $400 in gas. That doesn't make any sense to me, you know, and that's why we're not only are we doing it in a fair way to eliminate gas wars, but also migrating to Binance Launch or Binance Smart Chain to reduce those fees entirely. All right, let's see. That's funny. I'm not. I don't, can't give financial advice, you know, but I am very, very bullish on all the things that we're working on. That's for sure. Tell us a bit about Sif Chain, Master Ventures, and Alameda Research. I can't tell you anything about Alameda Research. I'm not going to get involved in that. I just know that there was some stuff going on between them and Reef, which I was an investor in Reef. We were big investors in SIFChain. And Master Ventures has been incredibly active, since 2014, investing in the blockchain space, and very, very active this year. Master Ventures has invested in, I think, something like 45 projects this year alone. 2021, and so so we've been very active, and I'm trying to get all of them on Ignition for you guys. Doing my best. Not all are possible, but a lot of them are and will be. So really, really excited to be able to share all of the research, due diligence that we do with you, the community, because I know that it's not easy, for most of you to get access to these deals. And so I'm really fighting hard to get as much as possible for all these projects to the paid token holders, and also making sure that we vet these projects and do as much due diligence as we can, and work with the projects that are going to offer the best value to the community, whether it's from a unique idea, good token metrics, good team, good fundamentals, things like that. I cannot answer this question about paid price prediction. But what I can tell you, my experience investing in projects, has been, I don't pay attention to the price short term, and I don't care about it. I've done really, really, really well investing on a fundamental basis, so for me, I invest in teams, I invest in ideas, and make sure the economics make sense when I invest in something. And the market is the market. You've got ups and downs, and a lot of times it's beyond control of the team, and you're just susceptible to market conditions. But I don't sell most of my investments. I hold them for quite a long time, and that's just myself. I think that paying attention to short-term price action gives me a lot of anxiety, and I just choose not to do that. Will paid do NFTs? So, yep. We're doing some with Bondly right now for Polka Pets, and we're also going to be doing some in the future for House of DAO, for different tier holders in our IDOs, and there's a lot of different use cases that we're discussing for NFTs. I like NFTs for the non-fungible token meaning of it, right? So I'm not so personally, I'm not so bullish on the art only aspect, right? Basically a JPEG tied to a wallet address. But what I am interested in is the unique use cases that you can develop with NFTs, right? Like, for example, if you're a Cosmos holder, maybe that gets you, you stake your tokens, you get the NFT, and NFT gets you access to private sales. It gets you access to a villa at House of DAO, gets you access to governance within, the arbitration of paid network and things like that. So I think these non-fungible tokens that can be traded, or let's say that you no longer want access to all these things, you could just sell your NFT to somebody and they get access, So I like the idea of NFTs for that aspect, and we will be incorporating them, in the not too distant future. Can we expect bigger allocation than $250 for 50,000 paid token holders? 250. So, so remember that with 50,000 paid tokens, you get 50 lottery tickets, right? And with those 50 lottery tickets, that goes into a huge, virtual mixing bin, and we draw how many allocations at random. And if you have 50 lottery tickets, that means you might win 10, 10 of your tickets might be drawn. And if the allocation per lottery ticket is $250 and 10 of yours are picked, that means your allocation is now $2,500. So that is a lot, right? Considering that, some of the IDOs like Shadows and things like that did a 30x, right? So now your thing turns into $60,000. So, and just to elaborate on that, it really depends on the allocation that we get to host an IDO. So some of them are, I'm trying to stay away from anyone who wants to do anything less than $100,000 on Ignition. I just don't think that that makes any sense for us. There's too much work involved, and it's really not fair to you guys to do something so small. But we're doing one probably mid to the third week of April called Globe. You guys are going to be super excited for this one. Globe is an amazing project, backed by a lot of the hugest players in the space, like Pantera and Tim Draper, Y Combinator, Y Financial, us, and they want to do something like at least $2 million on Ignition, which then means that almost everybody that participates is going to get an allocation for sure. And that means that the allocation size will probably be increased, to something maybe like $500 or $1,000 per lottery ticket, right? So it really really depends on how much we have available. That's going to determine what the allocation is per winning lottery ticket. Still bullish on Eero and yeah. So Sif Chain and Moon. Moon I think is going to do really well. Like I told you before, on Crypto Banter. I'm not really sure though about the team. I reached out to them and it's really hard to communicate. They haven't got back to me at first. I wanted to get some more information and stuff, and they just haven't been replying. So I'm not as bullish on Moon as I was before. But Sif Chain or Eroan, yeah, it's going to be massive. I mean, I'm an advisor for, keep in mind, I am biased, of course. I do hold big bags of Sif Chain, and I am an advisor. But with that being said, I only advise projects that I believe in deeply, and I only invest in projects that I believe in. So obviously, if I'm holding big bags, yeah, but I'm only going to do that in projects that I really believe in. As per Kyle, paid won't be a parachain, but we'll use Plasma Pair. So actually, so our plan is to become a parachain, not in the immediate future, but probably around Q4 of this year. That would be our goal. So initially, we want to migrate into Polkadot via Plasm as soon as is possible, right? But with that being said, we are onboarding Rust developers to build our substrate to make our own network using a substrate-based blockchain that will connect first to the Polkadot main chain through a parathread. And when we have enough economic demand, we will go for a parachain. So we absolutely do intend, that is our goal. We want to be a parachain. We have a very, very unique use case. I actually don't know anybody else building what Paid is building. And we believe that when we encompass the entire global demand for our product, there will definitely be enough economic demand for us to validate having a parachain. When the staking of Paid will be viable on your platform? It's a good question. It's a good question. We've been going back and forth about this a lot, and you guys can let me know what you think. Usually projects allow staking to incentivize people not to sell tokens, to hold them. and they offer something like 10 to 30% a year as rewards for staking the token. So it's about incentivizing people to hold the token, right? And our belief is that you have enough incentive because returns are way better getting access to IDOs, for example, than 10 to 30% a year. And the reason that we are cautious about opening up staking platforms natively unpaid is because you have inflation, right? And inflation can basically causes dilution of the circulating supply, which inevitably will make the value decrease a bit. So everything that we do takes into consideration you guys, the paid token holders and community. And even though something like staking might seem like a good immediate benefit to you, at the end of the day, it will inflate the supply, and make every paid token circulation slightly less valuable. Same thing that's happening with the US dollar right now, inflation, right? So our ultimate goal is to become a deflationary currency and not inflationary. So that's the logic behind the fact that we haven't implemented a native paid staking program. Not to say that we're against the idea, but this is why we have these conversations. You guys are welcome to let me know what you think based on what that logic is for me. Make sure you get some daylight. Don't make yourself sick. Yeah. I did get a lot of sleep the past 3 nights. Thank you for considering my health. I know I probably also don't look very tan for living in Thailand. I am sitting in this chair like a good 18 hours a day, doing work. Like this is, like this whole, everything I do is my passion, like I love paid, I love House of DAO, I love what I'm doing, I believe in what we're doing, and it gets me really excited, and this is what I want to be doing every day, so yeah, thank you for your concern about my health. I appreciate it. I am trying to take some vitamins and just try to get my workouts in when I fit them in, and try to make everything as efficient as possible. But I will take your advice and make sure I get some sun this weekend. Thank you. What coins am I buying low cap? So I don't, the thing is I don't really have a whole lot of time, to kind of research, coins that are traded. I can tell you, I can rattle off some projects that I've invested in that I think that you guys should pay attention to, that are going to be launching in the next month, just so you can kind of like start following these guys and getting involved quite early. I'll just kind of rattle these off, and you can play it back later if you want to kind of follow some of these projects. But Split, Ternoa, Relight, Shield Finance, Vega Swap, Beyond Finance, Argo I mentioned earlier, Globe DX, Privy, AOS. Oh, AOS, my God. Yeah. So AOS is another huge one. AOS is going to be big, 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 big. And that we're gonna launch in like 2 or 3 weeks on Ignition. AOS is basically Theta, but from what I understand, it's a bit better on the tech side. And it's an amazing team. Like 35 engineers have been building this for like 3 years. It's already functioning and working platform. Huge partnerships. Ultra low market cap at launch. It's gonna be a big one. Yeah. So what you can do is make sure that you're following me on Twitter, because I do talk about projects there when, usually that's the first place I'll talk about them. If I'm buying something on a low cap or started, working with somebody or whatever, that's the first place I talk about on Twitter. And you guys can also watch me on Fridays on Crypto Banter on Rand's channel. It's 10:30 my time, Bangkok time, GMT +7. And that's, I do talk about, kind of, I have more time prepared as well too. I do look at some of the low cap projects that are trading right now that I can mention to you guys. What does Kyle get up to every day while in Thailand? Yeah, I just answered that. I work, so I'm at my house right now, and it's also where everyone it comes and works. Like you can see here, like table over here, and over here you can see Jessica over here, and over there more people, whiteboard. Otherwise, those are all the IDOs. Can't show you any more than that. You just got a sneak peek. I know some of you guys are gonna try to zoom in, pixelate, try to sneak peek. Yeah, but that's what we do. A crypto cure, happy to. Um, Casper, any thoughts on Casper? Yeah, Casper is going to be big. Master Ventures also invested in Casper. It's going to be really, it's something that's been, I've been anticipating for a while. Like I met the team back in 2018, and I think China, or no, Korea or Russia or something. Korea, I think. Great team, very technical, and they're launching in a couple of weeks on CoinList. Very excited for that. Yep, I missed on Theta as well. AOS is gonna be big. And for those of you who are asking, no, it's AIOZ. It stands for input output from A to Z. So AIOZ. Website is aos.network. Sick. It's a huge project. Yeah. I think you guys, anybody who knows me long enough knows that I've been supporting Ultra for 3 years now. I still think, even though Ultra's at like a $300 million, I think $300 million market cap right now, it's still super low. Like for a platform that is building what they're building, it's going to be massive, massive, massive. So I know $300 million isn't necessarily what we consider a low cap, but I think for what they're building is a very low cap. Miguel, getting optimal lifestyle integration is vital and will influence everything. Yep, I agree, Miguel. If you want to shoot me a message, man, I'm happy to hear out what you have to say. My Telegram is message me directly is CA Crypto, Charlie Alpha Crypto. Interested to hear what you have to say. Kyle is Elon Musk of crypto. Thanks. It's quite the compliments. I'd love Elon. I think he's brilliant. So thank you for that. It's definitely quite the. You made me blush. Where's Rupert? I don't know where Rupert is. I think he's hiding in one of the rooms. He gets all confused when I talk on the microphone, and like usually when I say testing and like just to jump on, he just kind of super confused and then just kind of runs away. So that's Rupert. Yeah. Can you please disincentivizing holding for a bit so I can buy more? Yeah. I mean, I can't offer any advice on, especially on our own token. Oh, here he is. Hey, buddy. Say hi to everybody, Rupert. They were asking for you. Hey, guys, what's happening? He's not wearing his Bitcoin chain. He usually has his Bitcoin chain here. Rupert, say hi, everybody. Say hi. Say hi, Rupert. Say hi. Say hi. Good boy. Good boy, good boy. Yeah, that's Rupert's special appearance here. Watching in Kuwait. Thanks. Then that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, here's the Pokepet, Rupert. I can't wait to see his Pokepet. It was being IDO on BSC pad and ignition. Yeah, that's correct. With paid, if you miss out on one IDO, do you have more chance with the next one? Yeah, of course you need, definitely have chances with them. You don't have to, do every single one. It doesn't increase. I don't know what you mean by miss out. Does that mean, I'm not sure if you're asking if you participated but you didn't win, if that increases your chance. If that's the case, then yes. But if you just didn't participate altogether, then no, it doesn't increase your chances of winning the next one. But of course you can win the next one for sure. Happy St. Patty's Day. Yeah, so one of the guys, Willie from our team, is Irish, and he didn't even wear green today. Can you believe it? I mean, I totally forgot, right? Because I don't even know if anyone. I mean, shame on us. Yeah, sorry. I know Willie's out there having some pints right now, though, and me, I'm just trying to stay awake on some coffee and chat with you guys here. Yeah, so Oracle projects. Yeah, so Orao is actually ORAO is one that I invested into recently. And I think it's going to be quite interesting. Yeah, that's it. They were supposed to launch on Ignition and then they didn't. But they're launching with our partner Dowmaker. So yeah, I think it's still going to be a good project. I'm pretty bullish on it. That's ORAO. What made you get into crypto and when was it? So, so actually I was just listening to Joe Rogan this morning and he interviewed some guy that did a movie on Ross Ulbricht from Silk Road. And, I have a special place in my heart for Ross because, if it wasn't for Ross, I probably wouldn't know about Bitcoin as early as I did, So like someone just said, hey, like there's this open market on the dark web and like they take Bitcoin, and that was just, mind blowing to me. That was 2012. And it wasn't that like, that Bitcoin was so interesting to me as much as just this whole dark web that existed and like everything was in the open and it was just fascinated by it, and that's when I first learned about it. But it wasn't until WikiLeaks in 2013 started using it to accept donations because every other payment platform cut off donations to WikiLeaks due to pressure by the powers that be, right? So Visa, MasterCard, Western Union, everything like that. So that's when it really opened my eyes to how disruptive it would be. And then I dove into the white paper and read it time and time and time again. And then I really understood exactly what was going on, what Bitcoin was, and that all it had to do was survive to thrive. And I knew that like this is something that would inevitably be used. In 2013, I wasn't sure just how large it would get, but I had a pretty good idea. And yeah, I've always been someone who was kind of like, really kind of put off by existing systems and was looking for something disruptive to replace them. And being an American, I never even voted because I thought the whole system was a scam and was rigged. And so when I found out about Bitcoin and found out that it could be something that really evolves our entire human species, I jumped all over it. I've dedicated my life toward building disruptful projects, supporting them, investing in them, and being part of this ecosystem. And it's been my life ever since 2013. Okay, guys, that's all I have time for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. You guys are all amazing. Thank you for your support. And yeah, I am hoping to do these, at least every week. Please do ask your questions either on Twitter or whatever. But thank you guys all for your support. You guys are amazing. And we're working really, really hard to bring you guys just an amazing year. We have so much in the works, and I'm really excited to bring it all to you guys. Bye-bye.